with all the audiences. Yeah, guys on TikTok, if you have a question, you can request to join in live as a guest, and I will let you in, and you can ask your question. Same on Instagram. Now we're live on all three platforms. We're live on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. All right, so we got somebody that wants to come in here on TikTok. Let's see, Dylan.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. So my question is, like, what's the process of making the plastiline?
So we, can you turn that music off, please? Thank you. So the process is we put plastic into an airtight container, meaning the container is completely closed off to the air, right? And with that being said, no oxygen is in the container. And since there's no oxygen, we then heat up the plastic, right? And since there's no oxygen in there, the plastic cannot catch on fire. Kind of like when you put a lid over a candle, it immediately goes out. It's just like that. It can't catch on fire because a fire needs air. So since the plastic is being heated up, but it cannot catch on fire, it actually breaks down into a vapor. Now, plastic is made of crude oil, just like what we get from the earth to make our gasoline, diesel anyway, right? So when we put it into this process, we're essentially turning that solid form into a gas, just like how water turns into steam.
All right, that was all I wanted.
All right, thank you, man. Good question. Let's see, we got another question here on Instagram. Hey, guys on YouTube, how are you guys doing? So is this like the device from Back to the Future? Yes. Yes, it is like the Mr. Fusion from Back to the Future because you can, I emphasize on plastics, and the reason I emphasize on plastics is because, as we all know, plastics are non-biodegradable, and we have a huge issue with them in our oceans and stuff. However, you can put truly any type of trash into this machine, truly. If you go back to some of my videos on YouTube or TikTok, you'll see I've put food in there, I've put grass in there, I've put tires in there, I've put coffee pods in there. I've put just about any type of organic matter there is, and it all creates fuel. So this really is the Mr. Fusion, truly. Let's see, got some more guests on TikTok, actually quite a few people. It's gonna take a while to get through all these people. Let's see if I can get this YouTube chat. Somebody in YouTube type so I can make sure I see the chat there. What's up, Rick?
How you doing, man?
I'm great. I'm extravagant. How are you?
So I'm great as well, and I'm actually so curious on what you're making because I kind of actually was doing this for a class the other day, and basically you're just dissolving the plastic into what, like?
No, sir, that is not the process. We're not dissolving the plastic into anything. What we're doing is the process of pyrolysis, which is when you heat something up in the absence of oxygen.
With no oxygen, right?
No oxygen around.
So you're basically, but how does that, so would that work on a motor, like a vehicle or no?
Yes, it would, and we have actually put this engine into weed whackers, gasoline weed whackers, 2-stroke and 4-stroke, and we have also put it into, we've put the diesel constituents into a diesel go-kart engine, and it's ran, and now I'm about to actually get the first ever vehicle to put this in very soon.
So what's the difference?
What's up, Supernova? What was that? The difference in the chemical, the chemical contents? There is actually very little difference, and the reason why there's very little difference is because plastic is made of crude oil. So when we're breaking down this plastic into the reactors, it really can't get much different than what its source was to begin with, right? So think about gasoline or plastic like the solid form of like gasoline, right? When you take a piece of ice and you heat it up and it becomes steam, it's still water, it's just in a different form. So when we're heating up this plastic in the absence of oxygen and it becomes a vapor, it's still crude oil, just in a vapor form. And then that's how we can refine it and get the same products. Thank you for your question, Gaia. Let the next person in here. Let's see. We got some questions on Instagram. I'm gonna get to them. We gotta let somebody in there. Then I'll get to you guys on TikTok. There's a lot of requests. Is there off-gassing of microplastics after burning the plastic gas? That's a great question. I get that every live stream. So just to clarify this, and I'm sure I'm going to have to many times, yes, there is absolutely 0% of microplastics in the fuel, any of the fuel contents, and I'll tell you why. with how this process works, in order for us to even have fuel to begin with, that means that the plastic has to be absolutely and utterly degraded on a chemical level to where it's a completely different type of hydrocarbon. So when we have our plastiline, or even the unnatural gas, as you can call it, that we can burn and flare, that at that point is as if the plastic molecules have degraded. So let me say it like this. You know how plastic is non-biodegradable? That means that it can't be broken down into smaller parts by our natural organisms. This machine is breaking those the plastic molecules into smaller parts. So by the time it becomes fuel, it's a completely different product. So there are no microplastics, and there will never be any microplastics in the fuel itself. So that's good to clear that up. Let's see, we'll let somebody else in here on TikTok, and I'll get to you guys on Instagram. You know, just kind of having to flip-flop through it. If you guys on YouTube got questions, just type it in the chat. I'll see it, and I'll answer it. Yeah, I'm back, Trinitech. What's up, man?
I was gonna ask you, like, how much, like, did it cost to, like, just build all, like, the whole thing, and, like, the whole time process and all that?
So I've had 4 prototypes that I built, all homemade by hand and with scrapyard parts, right? So I've tried to make them the most economical possible. Mark IV was my biggest and most successful machine, and that machine, I would say, cost about $10,000, and that's including, you know, the fact that it was made from scrap things. So if you were to make it with all new things, it probably would be between $20,000 and $30,000. And that is mainly because microwave parts are very expensive, guys. So the proprietary technology, which makes my design unique and my reactor unique, is very expensive to you know, make parts out of and such. Thank you for your question. That was a great question. Let's see. On to the next guy on Instagram here. Anthony Kendra. Oh, he. Let's see. No, he's requesting to go live. I don't know if that's what I'm trying to do here. Maybe that is. Let's see what that does. I'll get to you guys on TikTok too. We're live streaming on all the services right now, all the platforms. Let's see. I got some things on YouTube. What are you guys saying? Awesome to see you guys as well. Back in the game. For some reason the words are mashed up on YouTube, so I can't even read these comments. Interesting. Welcome everybody on Instagram. Welcome everybody on TikTok. Let's see. Look at these questions. How long did it take me to complete this project? Yeah, so my first machine, or my latest machine, Mark IV, I built that machine very quickly, and that was because my Mark III machine actually blew up and exploded, and I was very disappointed and upset, and I wanted to start turning plastic into fuel again. So, with that being said, I built my Mark IV machine in record time. I built it in about a week, but the wiring and the electronics were kind of something that took a long time to master. Those weren't truly mastered until after a few months of it being built. Let me let somebody in here on TikTok. Lori. Hey, Lori.
Hello?
Hey.
It's just... I'm trying to figure out how
Hey,
to
one
use this
second
on
here,
the
man.
device.
I have somebody on TikTok talking. Give me one moment. What was that, Lori? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, yeah, what's your question?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out how to use this phone. Yes, what inspired you to actually come up with this invention, and what's some of the things that you can do to try to make sure other consumers try to take your invention/ideas?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and thank you for asking. What inspired me was that I remember I was in environmental science class in 11th grade, and then they showed that clip of the turtle with the plastic straw stuck in its nose, and then all this stuff about all the plastic in the ocean. And then I was like, man, they were showing us, and all it was about was just the problem. Like, there was nobody really talking about a solution. And I knew that the solution goes deeper than just taking the plastic out of the ocean with these ships. That's great, but that's not solving the root issue. The root issue is plastic has no value. That's why it's just being dumped in the ocean carelessly to begin with. So I was a welder in my junior and senior year of high school, I was in welding class to learn how to weld, and then I took those welding skills as well as just my ambition, and I taught myself everything by just researching online, and I built my first small machine just to see if it worked, and then from there, I started to innovate and get to the point where we are now, where I actually have a patent pending on my unique design for my machine.
Okay, right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Answer my question. Bye-bye.
Oh, that guy on Instagram is gone now. Oops. I'll let you in, Frank or Franak. Is there a setback to the gas? I would say the primary setback would be the fact that it needs to be distilled after it comes out of the machine. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, yo.
I'm good. I'm extravagant. How are you?
Yeah, so I finished high school, right? And I got into university to be an engineer. And I want to do this. I want to make your thing outside of school. Do you want me to pay, or is there like a way I can build this thing? Or is it like
if you want to build the machine, which I do not advise because it is very dangerous. If you want to build, especially the microwave one with the electronics, I do not advise it or recommend it. But the best way that you can actually start is if you go on my YouTube channel, which is NatureJab on YouTube. I have a playlist of construction, which is the videos showing how I built it, the wiring, how I physically welded it, and all that stuff together. So that's the best place to go. But like I said, I do not recommend it or advise it to anybody because I personally have been lucky.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Question, yeah, that's really understandable. One more question: Can it power a car?
My YouTube channel was NatureJab, guys, on YouTube. Can it power a car? Look, through my research, I can say I can give an evidence-based hypothesis and say yes because we ran engines off of it, but I have not put my fuel in a car yet, and I will be doing that soon. Yeah, so we will see very soon. But I believe it will because it's run all the other engines under a car engine. So we'll definitely see about that when I get my hands on an old diesel.
Are you trying to sell this product, or are you just gonna?
Yes, it's gonna be the machine itself is gonna be sold to small and large businesses. Now, thank you for your questions. I got to get on to the next people. I don't know how to let people out here on Instagram. That's the issue.
Big respect to you, bro. Big respect.
Yeah. All right. Peace out. I gotta let the next person in here on TikTok. Plastiline, baby. All right, we're gonna let Shanaza in. I know I'm not saying that name right. How you guys doing on YouTube? Yeah, for some reason, guys, on YouTube, the texts are like mashed up together for me. I cannot read it. I cannot make it out. Like, it's really annoying because I want to obviously see what you guys are saying, but I literally cannot read it. What temperatures do you target for the pyrolysis, and how long does a cycle of pyrolysis run? My machine would take 5 hours per batch of plastic, and the temperature I would aim for is about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, or what is that? Let's see. 1,000 F to C. That is 537 Celsius. Are you in here, Chinaza, on TikTok? Are you in here?
I'm here.
All right. Hi, how are you? Thank you for joining in.
Is it true? So, like, are you producing? I'm fine. Good evening, Abby. Good morning.
What's your question?
Are you producing the petrol for sale? Like, do you want to start selling it out or?
No, my goal is not to sell the petrol. My goal is to sell the machines themselves. Thank you for your question.
The machine themselves.
Yes. I gotta let the next person in here. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, only one question. There's just too many people for me to be getting multiple questions, no double dipping. What companies have been inquiring about your project? I cannot share that. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to. Let's see. Payne. We're going to let Payne in. Let's see if I can see on YouTube now. Where can I get plans to build my own reactor? Rapid Locksmith. You can look at my construction plans on YouTube, but I'm not going to ever share plans on how to build it at home because it's very dangerous. I don't believe that's morally right to do. Like I said, I would never recommend it, but if you want to learn how to build it, go on my YouTube, go to my construction playlist, and you will see how I literally built it from the ground up. So, how you doing, Payne?
What's up, Julian? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm extravagant.
Good.
Thank you.
I joined your live last time I asked you think about selling. You said to small business, but how much money or what are you looking at, like the value of these machines?
I believe that the machines are definitely going to be per piece in the six-figure range. Like the smallest machine probably won't be less than $100,000. Just because, once again, as I was saying earlier in this live stream, the microwave technology that we're going to need is very expensive because it's relatively new. So it is going to be expensive, and that's why I said small and large businesses, and also, of course, for safety reasons, that's why it won't be sold to the public. And I remember you from the last live stream, so good to see you again, man.
Sure.
Get to the
Yeah,
next
thanks.
person now. Let's see. We got a question on Instagram. Can you put cloves in the machine? Oh, I love that question very much, Rocky. That's an amazing question. So let me tell you guys something, right? Plastic waste is one thing, but you know what the next big, horrible waste crisis is about to be right after plastic waste? Textile waste. In a lot of regions of Africa, there's a horrible problem with a ton of clothes. Used clothes, you know, the whole fast fashion stuff. It's just piling up, and there's really nothing to do with it. But guess what? They can go in this machine. And why? Because not only are clothes organic matter to begin with, but clothes are actually, nowadays, have a lot of synthetic fibers in them made from plastic, like nylon and such. So, but even if it's just 100% cotton shirt, it can go in there. So yes, we can turn clothes into fuel. We can turn your shoes, your Nikes into fuel. We can turn your Jordans into fuel. All right, let's let the next person in here on TikTok now get over to Instagram, answer some of those questions. Let's see on YouTube. We got a question on YouTube. Did you learn all this in school or on your own? From Vanessa. Vanessa, I learned it all myself, self-taught. The internet is you know, a blessing and a curse, and we live in the age of information and misinformation. But if you utilize your cards properly, you can really learn whatever you want on the internet. All right, so on TikTok, how are you doing? Hello? Are you here?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Hi, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Great to hear. I just want to know, have you been to college? And if you haven't been to college, would you go?
Well, I guess you could say it like this, right? I've been to college, but I did not stay there. So
What did you study?
I was studying in material science, but I went to college after the fact. I did not go to college, then worked on this project. I worked on this project in my high school years and got the patent and such, and then went into college and just decided it wasn't for me. So I ended up, you know, going on a different path my own way. So that's where I am on that.
Fair enough.
Thank you very much for your question. All right, Instagram. What do we got here? Has the gasoline any negative aspect to the motor? I have to find that out. I would say no, but I'm not going to scientifically speak on that because I have not experimented with that myself. Though we have run motors, I have not done a diagnostics test of before and after. Let's look at the carburetors and such, a lifelong test. So I can't say, but I would like to say that no, it wouldn't. But we'll have to see, right? What kind of vehicle are you going to use to test the gasoline? I'm going to get an older diesel vehicle because I have half a gallon of plastic diesel left, and old diesel vehicles can run off of motor oil and French fry oil. So I believe that they'll certainly be able to run off of this. And then once we confirm that runs, then I'm eventually going to, you know, put it in a gasoline vehicle and then put it into newer cars and stuff. But we're going to start out on an older vehicle. TikTok. Get back to TikTok. What we got here? Kyle. We'll let Kyle in.
How's it going?
I'm going great. How are you?
Good. I just have one question.
Yes.
How much energy does it take to go through one cycle? Using your machine, of course.
Okay, great question. Thank you for asking that. So on my latest machine, my Mark IV Reactor, a batch would be 5 hours total length of time, and then the energy consumption would be 25 kilowatt hours. And between all three of the products, the gaseous product, the liquid product, and the solid carbon product, there would be a total of 48 kilowatt hours of energy output. So does that answer your question for you there?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Guys, we just hit a massive achievement on TikTok. I just hit 500,000 followers. I got to take a screenshot of that. It's very exciting. I've been at this for many years now. And I'm very excited to see that we're at 500,000 followers now. So thank you guys very much for for all the support and for, you know, you guys are killing it out there. I probably shouldn't be saying that's how you get shadow banned, right? Little words like that. But also for everybody here on TikTok and on Instagram. Make sure you follow my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is the same name here, NatureJab. That's it. It's in my bio, all that. And I say that to you because a lot of these questions I'm answering here, I can go in so much more depth on YouTube, longer form content. So please do that. Watch my red coral. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Also, speaking of that, in my link tree I'm on a streaming service called Red Coral. Now, I have a documentary on there on how I built the machine, at this age and such, and all that good stuff. And it's really helpful to me if you guys go and watch that, because I'm partnered with that streaming service. So I'm compensated every time it gets a view. It's completely free to make an account, sign up, and watch stuff. And then feel free to also check out some of the other contents on there, because that streaming service is full of a whole bunch of, you could say, like amateur artists and such, like not big companies and stuff. It's made from a whole bunch of like real stuff, type of good stuff. So somebody on YouTube asked, how does this process differ from gasification? That's a great question. So gasification is actually not the same as pyrolysis. They're similar, but they're different, because in gasification, you actually introduce air. You introduce a limited amount of air into your product that you're gasifying, right? So by doing that, it's called partial oxidation or controlled oxidation. So it's not going to be as toxic as if you just burn plastic in the open, but you're still going to get oxides forming from that process of gasification on plastics. And a huge disadvantage to gasification versus pyrolysis is that with pyrolysis, you get a liquid product. With gasification, you get no liquid product. All you get is a gaseous fuel and the solid product. Let me let somebody in here on TikTok. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of questions coming in. I'm kind of getting overwhelmed, not gonna lie, on all three platforms so much. Let me see on YouTube here. While this guy's loading in here on good to see you guys, everybody, by the way. Thank you all for stopping by. I'm very grateful that everybody's here on all these platforms, so it's truly a blessing. Well, I don't think this guy is loading in here on TikTok. Let's get to the questions on Instagram here. How do I reach out to you for an invitation to a podcast interview? Send me an email. My email is in my link tree. My email is in my description, my bio. It's business@naturejab.com. And that goes to everybody. If you have inquiries or you want to get a hold of me, the best way is to send me an email to my business account. Thank you very much for the heart, by the way, there on TikTok. I gotta let somebody else in because this guy is not loading in. Let's see. We're gonna let somebody else in here. And I'm gonna get to your questions on YouTube in a second too after this guy's done here. Imagine if we could put trash in the machine. You can put trash in the machine. Thank you very much for the heart, Brandon. Thank you. How are you doing? All right, he's gone. All right, so on YouTube, somebody asked, Mulwa asks, how do you deal with the haters and those who want to discredit you? I don't. I think there's a huge power in stoicism and just letting things flow the way they do. Ultimately, I do understand. I am very well researched in what I do because I was able to innovate my machine by reading tons of scientific research papers from universities all over the world. So what I say is, let the science back it up. Let the science speak for itself. And if somebody doesn't believe that it's real or they don't believe it's efficient enough to make sense, I just say it as, they're going to see it work out to be that way eventually, because that's what I'm doing here and why I'm innovating this process. Let's see. Next. Oh, gotta let somebody in here on TikTok. I admire your ambition to your interests. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brandon. I will be staying safe. Somebody asked, this is something about, am I mentally healthy or something? Yes, I'm in extravagant mental health. You heard it here. Man City. We're laying in Man City on TikTok. That's a very interesting name. Man City. Let's see, YouTube. I'm gonna get to you guys on YouTube in a second.
Hello?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I want to ask a question. What byproducts do you get from using pyrolysis?
What was that? What was the question? What do I get?
What byproducts do you get from using
Oh,
this?
the byproducts, yes. Okay, so I'll tell you, we get 3 byproducts, all right? 3 byproducts. What the byproducts are is we get a gaseous fuel, a liquid fuel, and a solid carbon from the plastic. So that gaseous fuel is just like natural gas. It can be burned, it can be used to cook. It's very clean burning, high energy content. The liquid product, as we've all seen, is able to be distilled and fractionated into diesel, gasoline, and kerosene. And then the last thing we get is the solid carbon product. And the solid carbon product is literally pure carbon in solid form left over at the end of the machine. That's all that's left of the plastic on the inside when it's done. And that actually makes this process carbon neutral or carbon negative potentially, because this is carbon that would have gone into the air, but we actually have it in solid form now. So thank you very much for your question, Man City. Bearman City. Have you considered open sourcing your work? Open sourcing my work, yeah, it's actually something I am passionate about, because I do believe that ultimately the best thing to do is to create something for the world and not just for profit, right, and for yourself. The main issue where I'm at right now is the fact that I don't even have it built and fleshed out to where I want it to be yet, right? So ultimately, what I'm doing is I want to get it right first. And I also want to make sure that I have it protected in the right way as it's getting to that point. So just so you guys do know, everybody in here that may not know, this is patent pending currently, my unique design. And ultimately, the goal is, once this is done right, yeah, I want it to be open source. I want everybody to know how it was built, and if they want to, they can build it themselves. I never recommend it because it's dangerous, but yeah, ultimately, I believe completely in the free market like that. Let's see, another question here. Oh, I did not mean to pin that message. We got some people from Kenya in here. You know what? On TikTok, or even everywhere. You know what, guys? Tell me where you're from. I love to hear where everybody's from, because we got people all over the world. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm trying to get these. I don't know why my YouTube is doing this. From ProGrow Hydroponics. Hey man, your stuff is really doing awesome. Thanks so much for posting. As far as fractures, have you figured out the proper temperatures to distill? Yes, I have found out the proper temperatures to distill the diesel and gasoline. Let me tell you what's funny, right? When I get my crude plastic oil right from the machine, the temperatures to distill the plastic and gasoline and jet fuel out are, guess what? The same temperatures they use in crude oil refineries. So the technology to make this stuff right for a vehicle already exists, guys. It's not even about that anymore. It's just about me getting this machine, my next machine built, and getting it big enough to where it is all over the world, to where it is on boats and ships, and we're dealing with plastic waste on a large scale. Let me let some guys in here on Instagram. Let's see. Okay, I think... no, there's nobody on Instagram here. That's... Oh, we have some requests. Okay, from Jesus Sanchez, or Jesus Sanchez.
Yo.
You know someone in Sudan. Hey, what's up? What's up, John?
Came to come kill you yet?
What was that?
The CIA hasn't came to come kill you yet.
Oh,
bro?
clearly not. I'm alive and well, mate.
What the fuck?
Yeah, hey, you know what? And let me tell you something, man. You see how I'm dressed? I am the CIA.
Yes.
That's the plot twist.
Oh my God, no. Joke. Oh my.
Hey.
Motivational, man.
All right, man. All right, thank you for your question, but I need to let you out of here now. If I can figure out how to do it. Yeah, this is a nightmare situation here, guys. All right, peace out.
Take care.
You too. There's a kid in Africa doing this also. I love to hear that. You know, something I've been doing as I've come back to content is I've been posting and reacting to the people doing this all over the world. Because what I want people to know is that this is not a technology that I created. I'm not an inventor of this technology. I'm an innovator of this technology. And I'm an inventor of an improvement. But this technology is very old and it's been around. And it's actually quite DIY-able. And you can do it yourself. In a lot of ways, I don't recommend it. But people all over the world, especially in like Africa and India, are doing this because they're tired of their backyards being plagued with tons of plastic waste, and they're taking action. So I have heavy respect for anybody doing this and posting it. Which science did you study? I did not study any type of formal science. I'm self-taught, but I have read a lot of research papers in the matter That's where I got all my knowledge from. Let's see some questions on YouTube here. Is there a real reason why you can't microwave in a very wet environment? Well, I mean, the reason why you don't want it, the plastics have to be dried before you put them in there is because water actually readily absorbs microwaves, right? Oh no, I hit this guy's comments by accident. Oh man, I did not mean to do that on YouTube. The phone is really glitchy. What's your name? Hamza or something? Yeah, I was just responding to your question, and now I can't even see them anymore because I accidentally hid your stuff. But water is readily absorbed by microwaves, right? When we put the plastics into the machine, the plastics need to be absorbed in the microwaves to be heated up and broken down. But if we have water content or moisture content in the plastics, well then it's just going to end up heating the water instead. So it needs to be completely dry, and it can't be submerged or anything, or else it's just not going to be efficient. So and that goes with every process, even if you're not using microwaves. One of the first steps is always, they say, shred the plastic, clean the plastic, and dry it. Let's let Anthony in here on Instagram, and I'll get you guys on TikTok. Why did they say I died? Because, you know, when you're creating something that is, you know, a huge thing in the market, there's always a risk if you're stepping on the toes of already existing entities. I personally do not believe that what I'm doing is a risk to these already existing superpowers. I think it actually is beneficial to everybody at the end of the day, because think about it. If we're able to turn plastic into fuel and plastic is no longer an issue, then plastic companies can make more plastic, and gas companies. And also, did you guys know this? That oil companies, right? It's the same companies that give us our gasoline and such. They're tied with the plastic companies because plastic is made from oil. So if plastic companies are getting more money, then oil companies are getting more money. So in short, if my device allows plastic companies to make more plastic guilt-free because we can get rid of it, then the oil companies are making more money too. So nobody's mad at me. You know, I'm not replacing anybody. I'm adding to and improving what the system is doing. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how I can undo this on YouTube. How I can unhide, you know what I'm saying, because I messed up this guy's comment. Yeah, I messed up this guy on here. I can't even undo that. Maybe I can do it on my computer. But yeah, to all you guys on TikTok, on Instagram, make sure you follow me on YouTube. It's NatureJab. My link is in my link tree in my bio. If you want to see the real in-depth videos, please do that for me. Go on my YouTube, subscribe, and you can watch whatever videos you want from me, and you get the real in-depth details, information. These questions you guys are asking here are things that we talk about all the time on YouTube, with real good videos. And thank you guys very much for 500,000 followers, 500,000 followers on TikTok. I'm very grateful for everybody, every single one of you that is following me. It's an absolute blessing to be in the position I'm in, or where I can influence. How can you donate? You can donate. Either directly through like super chat or whatever, or you can go into my link tree, and then I have like a PayPal donate button, I believe, there if you want to donate. Let's see, Chris. Hey, what's up, Chris?
I was wondering, what do you have to do and add to the oil for it to be ready to go into a car?
What do I have to add into the oil for it to be ready to go into a car? Really, nothing needs to be added to it. It just needs to be distilled, honestly. Now, when it does come to the gasoline product of it, we probably will need to add something to boost the octane. Maybe some ethanol, or back then they used to add lead to boost octane. Now they have different things, benzene, I believe. Nothing good, right? But basically, there will not be any issue when it comes to getting this to run in the car properly, because the same processes that we use to make gasoline to begin with are the same processes we're using to refine this and get this ready for a car. So thank you, Chris, for your question. Let me see, on YouTube, we got another question. Yo, just hopped up on your channel and not sure, are you using pyrolysis? Yes, I am using the pyrolysis method. We're using microwave pyrolysis. No double dipping, guys. No two questions. There's too many people to let in, too many things to get to. So it's just one question per person. If you have another question, you can type in the chat, and there's a chance I could see it. I more than likely won't. But then other than that, I'll just have to let you in again. Yeah, we got all types of people up here on Instagram, on TikTok. There's a lot of people. So, you know, I'm trying to address everybody, but, you know, obviously that's not possible to get to everybody. I'm live on 3 things right now. Will I keep this video up? Muwa says, yes, I will. This will be on YouTube right after I'm done here. Let's see. I'm Trying to let this guy here on an Instagram. Man, I'm still upset that I hit that guy's comment. That guy was asking some of the best questions on YouTube, and I hit him. I'm gonna see if I can get to it on my computer and potentially fix that. I did not mean to do that at all. All right, this guy is not loading here on Instagram. Let's see what I can do. How can I get this guy back in here? Hassan. Yeah, I don't think he might not even be here anymore. Unhide. There we go. I can just... This whole time I could have just been looking at the YouTube on my computer. After... Oh, let me let this next guy in. What's up, Hassan? Oh, you're still here, man. I'm so sorry for that. I did not mean to do that at all. You've been asking some great questions.
Hello there.
Hey, how you doing?
So I had a question. Specifically towards, you said this is gasoline through the hydrolysis process, or the pyrolysis process.
Yes.
Is there any way for it to be diesel or a different type of plastic biofuel?
Yes, absolutely. So when we get the raw oil out of the machine, it's actually not gasoline. It's actually closer to just crude oil, a blend of all of these things. We then have to distill that, and then we get out the different fractions. We can get out gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. So we can get out multiple types of fuel from plastic. That's the beautiful thing about it. So you guys see me run my weed whacker off of gasoline, and you also see me run my go-kart off of diesel. And both sources of those things, the fuel that we ran these things off of actually came from the same batch of plastic. Because plastic has all of those types of properties in it. It has diesel properties, gasoline properties, jet fuel properties, motor oil properties, because it's a solid form of crude oil, essentially. So thank you very much for your question. Gotta let the next person in here on Instagram. We got the Instagram's getting backed up with these with these guys on Instagram. I'm trying to let these guys in, but half of them it's not working. Half of them it's just like loading forever and it goes off. Hassan asks, have you considered creating a wood vinegar generator? I have not considered that. I actually need to look into that more, right? That must not be far from wood gas and such, right? Hydroponics asks, have you tried blending your pyro fuel with ethanol to help control, to octane it? Actually, there was a time when I did do that, when I blended it with things. It was when I was trying to chemically refine my oil. On my YouTube videos, you can go into my channel and you'll see, it was about almost 2 years ago now, before I distilled my oil, I was trying to chemically refine it just by pouring things into it and like cleaning it and like separating things to make it right for an engine, and we almost got it right that way, but distilling is the best way. Gotta let somebody else in here on TikTok. Itty bitty leader. Trying to let people in on Instagram, but it's just not working for some reason. It's just, like every time I try to go, it just like loads and then they go out. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, 1 second here on Instagram. I got somebody on TikTok, okay? Give me 1 minute. What's up? What's your question?
So I'm currently a student studying aquatic environmental science, and I was just curious if you were interested in helping get some of your research published. If you have any data, I would love to try and pick your brain on that, because I think this is something that's really important for the environment, and I'm pursuing environmental law, so I would really be interested in seeing if you have any data that would be able to be presented to somebody.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do not have any formal scientific data studied, because my machines had too many variables with how I was making them homemade. So that eventually will be a thing for me to publish real scientific things, but currently I do not. So thank you very much for your questions, and I hope you have the best with your studies and what you're pursuing. All right, now on Instagram, what's up, man?
Yo.
What's up?
What made you choose to turn plastic into gas?
What made me choose to turn plastic into gas? Well, let me tell you, right? All right, so I've always been an environmentalist, right? And obviously, I'm sure we all know now that the traditional recycling is pretty much a scam. They don't even recycle half of the stuff, right? And so basically, I have to ask this question: why is there all this plastic in the ocean, right? Like in 2020, there were like 3.4 billion masks thrown in the ocean. And you have to ask, some things just can't be recycled, right? Some things, you don't want to turn a used dirty mask or like a used condom into another condom or something, right? So they need to be destroyed in a way, right? But if you set plastic on fire, it is going to burn and create toxic things. So what's the next best thing? Well, to completely thermally degrade it through the process of pyrolysis, which is when you heat something up in the absence of oxygen and break it back into its chemical forms, just like the earth does with algae and biomass to make crude oil to begin with. So that's the answer to your question. Thank you very much for asking that, man. That was a great question. I'm gonna see if I can let you out of here. I still don't know how to let people out of here on Instagram. Yeah. You know how to do it?
Do what? Sorry?
You know how to let people out on Instagram? Because I'm sure I look like a grandpa. Like I really don't know how to do it. I can't find what it is.
I think you are doing it right. These people are just not joining, bro. They're like literally just not
Well,
joining.
I'm saying, like, how do I kick you out of here since you're done now? Because I can't find out, and somebody's gonna troll me eventually and just be sitting here forever.
I just leave.
I know that, but that's not good, because when somebody trolls, I'll never be able to get them out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I'll be
Yeah,
stuck.
I'm honestly not sure, but I wish you the best in luck on finding out how to do that. And
Thank you. Thank you. You take care. All right, Lenny, next person in here on.
Blessed evening.
Yeah, you too, man. Stay blessed. Thank you. Yeah, very very positive energy from you guys. You guys are great. Thank you very much for the great live stream. We're letting Lisanne in.
Hi. Yeah.
Hey.
How much plastic does it take to fill up a average tank of gas in a car?
Okay, so every car is different, of course. But I'll give you some of my numbers on what it took to make a gallon. So to make a gallon of fuel, I believe it was around about 15 pounds of plastic for me with my machine, right? Which was not operating at its best efficiency. So 15 pounds to make a gallon. The average car is probably like 20 gallons, right? So 20 times 15, and then we're gonna get, what is that? That's 300 pounds of plastic to make.
Wow.
To make
That's
20
awesome.
gallons. And
Thank you.
Thank you. And that is a lot of plastic, I will admit. But the good thing is that's not really the issue. That's not our concern. We have too much plastic. And as the machine gets better and more efficient, that metric will actually go down because plastic has so much stuff in it, so much oil. I've only been extracting like a certain percentage of it. I love you. I love you back. Let's see. Also for safety, would this benefit your burner unit to be buried in an underground chamber? Yeah, there were so many ways, Hassan, that I could have made this so much safer. And honestly, I was doing some hobo, redneck, Mad Max stuff. That's why my stuff caught on fire to begin with, mate. And that's why, like I said, it's a blessing that I'm even still alive and haven't been electrocuted. People say the CIA is out to get me. I'm out to get me. I'm my own biggest risk, honestly. That's why I don't advise or recommend it to anybody because, I've been lucky so much doing this. And I just know that if I put out a course on how to build it and everybody that wanted to build it would build it, somebody would eventually, not end up as lucky, and that's just not right with me, you know what I'm saying? So ultimately I want to make sure it's absolutely perfected and mastered first before I can advise, people to go down this same path, because it is dangerous with the microwaves especially. Let's see, I got somebody else here on Instagram. I can't even find the thing on Instagram. Okay. Trying to see. We'll let in Heaven's Most Wanted on Instagram. Yeah, how you guys like the more Q&A live streams? I know I'm usually doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff, dancing and showing stuff off, but today I just feel like chilling. What's up, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Hey, I'm extravagant. How are you? I can't hear you. Your mic isn't working. It went out. Yeah, I can't hear you, man. How much school you got? I don't have a formal education. All right, I can hear you now. No, it went out again. I don't know what's up with that.
I'm so sorry. It connected. To
Oh,
my
okay. It was on your
phone.
headphones. Okay,
On the
got it.
Bluetooth, it was just acting up real quick.
Okay.
So sorry, my bad. So my question, I have so many questions, but I'll ask this. I'm a part of the Discord server, and I was just curious as to how long until the patent comes through for the Mark IV reactor that you have already.
Okay, so firstly, the patent is not on the Mark IV. The patent is on my Mark V reactor, which nobody has seen yet, right? Because Mark IV has already been shown to the public. So that's first of all. Second of all, the patent is a very long process. It can take, you know, between minimum like 2 years, maximum 4, 5, 6 years. So ultimately, I was working behind the scenes for a while when I took my year off. But ultimately, I decided that, you know what, the best thing I can do right now is just go out there and start working again and get another machine built in the meantime, because that's just going to take a long time. You know, unless you got money. Money speeds up everything. I don't quite have the type of money to speed up a patent like that right now. So I'm just putting that on the back burner for now. But at least I have the patent pending. That's the most important thing.
Okay, cool. Thank you for your answer.
And
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it, sir.
Thank you, man. You take care. Gotta let the next
You as well.
person in here on TikTok. Who we got on TikTok? Jocko. You have to let yourself out, because I don't know how to let you out, man.
Cool. I got you.
I watch your content. Just amazed. Thank you. Thank you, Hassan. What's up, Jocko?
Yeah, I ain't got no question. I just want to say, like, you make me proud, yo. Like, for real. Like, you something special, yo. Like, I hope you be successful in everything you attempt on everything.
Thank you so much, man. That was very heartwarming, very real. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the good energy, man. You take care. Stay blessed. Next person. Next person here on TikTok. Thank you guys for 500,000 followers on TikTok. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to say to thank you for even existing.
Thank you. Your mic went out.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hearing the process of the plastic and the information that comes with it, I was wondering, do you think that there's scientists that should already know about this?
Scientists already do know about this. One of the reasons I was able to build this at the age of 18 is because I read a ton of scientific research papers published by universities all around the world. So in the science world, this is nothing new. And this is actually really old technology, even with microwaves in the science world. It's always just been a matter of being able to do it efficiently enough to make it worth it, to make it cost efficient. Because ultimately, let's keep it real, right? You can think about how many things around the world would save the world, would change the world, but they don't make the type of money, so that's why it's not there. The world really comes down to money at the end of the day, right? So that's what my goal is, to make this cost efficient enough and prove that it is viable enough on a cost efficient level to then incentivize us cleaning up the plastic out of the oceans.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Great question. Yeah, so that was why I like that latest video I just made, guys, where I'm talking about like how much money, $83 billion worth of plastic is in the ocean if we were to turn it on to oil. That was the point of that video. It's really not really for the common person as much as it is for the business person, because ultimately everything does come down to business, and I had to learn that myself being in this space. Getting this attention online, right? So ultimately it comes down to business. People want to know the money. People want to know the basics. When investors reach out to me, that's all the first thing they ask is like, how much does it cost and how much is it going to make? So you got to have these types of things. You got to have both sides of it. It's the duality of our universe. Are you British, mate? That's something that you have to find out, right? This guy said, Hassan said, big balls need filling. I think I know where he got that from. That's from one of my episodes on YouTube. For you guys on TikTok, make sure you follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel if you want a more in-depth explanation on how I've done these things, and to also see the origin story and how I went from Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3 to Mark 4 to where I am today. It's NatureJab. It's in my link tree. Let's see. Then the next guy. Captain Obvious.
How's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm good. I was wondering, like, what your opinion was, because, like, I love what you're doing and everything, but what is your opinion on, like, cars that run on water and water fuel?
Yeah, so my opinion on that, water fuel is absolutely real. It's hydrogen, right? Well, there's actually two different types of water fuel, right? Because there's a type of water fuel where you're just spitting up hot water to get the hydrogen out of it, and then there's a man who made a more sophisticated machine which almost directly kind of runs off of the water itself. And most of the machines we see online are really just hydrogen generators, and they just say it's running off of water, but it's really not. It's running off of the hydrogen when you break the water apart. So my thoughts on those, once again, kind of going back to what I was saying before, a lot of them aren't really what they're made out to be. It's just simple hydrogen technology, which hydrogen is the most flammable and energy dense gas. So of course it works in engines and stuff.
Sorry.
So I don't really have much thought on those in terms of those machines and those inventions which were made in times past, of like the car that would run on water. I do think that did exist and such. And it is definitely suspicious how the guy just got sick and passed away inside of that restaurant. Yeah. But
I mean, I hope you stay alive, honestly. Like, what you've been doing so far is great. And I think everybody is with me that if something happens to you, we know why. Like, we know why.
Well, look, I can never assure tomorrow's never guaranteed. But what I will say is this: it's my absolute intentions and my manifestations to live long enough to change the world. So that's what's gonna happen. But thank you very much for your questions, man. That girl on YouTube said, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad that you're here and tuned in. Thank you very much for stopping by. Let's see, we got some people on Instagram I need to let in. We'll let in Cam. We'll let in Cameron. Cameron got the gains, it looks like. Glad you're alive and well. Thank you. Very, very nice comment there from you. I'll let you and Courtney in the meantime, because that person on Instagram's not coming in.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. How about yourself?
I'm doing extravagant. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's awesome. I tried finding your account so many times. I'm just glad that you're cool. Good. Got a little worried. And as far as extrapolating the hydrogen, and that's kind of what happens is with people is they're very segregated from other people in the scientific community, and in order to make your idea become bigger, you do have to cater towards the greed of the business people and the investors. But have you thought about partnering with somebody like Mr. Beast or other environmental companies that are already doing their own things with changing plastics?
Yeah, I would absolutely love to partner with somebody like that that's very, about ushering in a better world. It's just been a matter of, I haven't been reached out to by them yet. So that is one of my motivations for my massive push on social media, to hopefully get the attention of some bigger entities that can really help get this process to the next level. Because ultimately, I think all it is a matter of the right eyes to see what I'm doing, and obviously the right type of funding to come in, and then this thing will be set. We'll get the big machine on a boat and go out and be capturing the plastics and turning them into fuel.
Awesome. And a science question behind that. You probably can't reveal too much, but you're talking about microwaving. That's very interesting. And there's different levels of plastics, obviously. Do you have a process in order to do all grades of the plastics?
In the machine, it's universal. It works on not only all types of plastics, but all type of biomass in general. Because of how the microwaves have been, in my study of microwaves do not heat up everything, right? That's why we have microwave safe utensils. However, there are cheats you can do to make anything microwavable. And in my reactor, one of the things I would do is actually take the carbon product from the end reaction and use it as a microwave susceptor or a microwave catalyst to catalyze microwaves forming hot spots on the plastic to then heat it up and break it down. So anything I put in there, unless it's completely inorganic, will be completely broken down by the microwaves.
That's awesome. Any kind of biomass, that's awesome.
Well, thank you very much for your questions. Those are some amazing scientific questions. I love those types of questions. They even make me think. So thank you very much, and you have a blessed night.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Let's see, on YouTube. You're on TikTok, Viva Lotus. Oh, you're on TikTok and YouTube. Okay, I see you. Got the double D's going. What materials do you use to build your contraptions to make your fuel? So my Mark IV reactor was made of propane tanks. It was made of microwave magnetrons, transformers, capacitors, all that type of stuff from the microwave ovens. And then the rest was just metal welded together. And then we had some motors to make blades turn and such. So this machine is not very complex from a technological standpoint. It's actually quite simple because all you're doing is heating up plastic in an oxygen-free environment, ultimately with microwaves, right? So it's not very technologically advanced. That's how I was able to build it myself in my backyard. But the main thing is putting all these different components together. You know, these are all different sectors of engineering. There's electrical engineering, this is mechanical engineering, this is radio engineering. It's just so many things coming together, and that's kind of what makes it have that barrier to entry, because it's a lot. Let's see, letting in Cameron on TikTok here.
Oh, let's go. Oh,
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm just here with my roommate. I think it's so cool what you're doing. I was wondering how you came up with it. Like, what initially, like, gave you, like, that aha moment where, like, I could, like, make this?
So what gave me the aha moment was, I'll tell you, there was a time when I was injured, and I've always been a very physical person my whole life. So I was injured and I was unable to do a lot of physical things, and so I had a lot of time to just research, right? And I've always been an environmentalist. So with me being in that kind of incubator stage of research, I've always wanted to figure out a way how to deal with the plastic situation. And I basically just looked online, you know, how can we recycle plastics in another way? And then I found the process of pyrolysis drop down, right? And I was like, what is that? Turning plastic into gasoline? The same shock factor all of you guys have when you see my videos, you know, you're like, what? That's possible? And then I literally found a tutorial on instructables.com on how to build a little small machine. And I'm like, if they're building that small machine on their stove, I'm a welder. I can definitely build this. I can build a big one. I can build whatever I want. So then my mind just was never closed to the possibilities, because if I can build a small machine on a stove because I'm a welder, I can also build a big machine that runs off of microwaves. So that's how that came through. That's a great question, and thank you very much. Got to get on to the next now. Let's see. Somebody on Instagram had a good question. They said, can you please speak on the fumes? And that's something that that is one of the most commented things. And I'm never going to stop having to answer this because, you know, people, of course, want to understand, make sure that we're not like doing some type of damage like the ozone layer or something. So first of all, I will say this right here. This does have no damage to the ozone layer. I'll put it out there like that. First of all, say that. Secondly, concerning the emissions from this process, right? So when you take crude oil from the ground, right? If you were to burn crude oil raw the way it is, the emissions would be absolutely horrible off of it. Why? Because there's so many things in there. There's sulfur. It's just a whole bunch of issues in crude oil. But when we distill and refine that crude oil and put that gasoline from that same crude oil into a car, then all of a sudden the emissions aren't that bad. Why? Because in that process of refining that crude oil, they have catalytic converters in the machines. They have palladium catalysts. They have deodorizers. They have desulfurizers. All of these processes which already exist in our world, which is how we turn crude oil into something safe to burn, aka gasoline through your car or diesel through your car, right? To control the emissions. And then your car has a catalytic converter in it, and your car has computers to make sure it burns properly. So in short, when my oil comes right out of my machine, think about it like crude oil. It needs to be refined, needs to be cleaned up, but the processes of doing that already exist and are very readily available technology to do. So when it comes to the fumes with this technology, it's going to ultimately be the same as gasoline, diesel from the pump once it comes out the end of your car exhaust. Let's see, let this next person in here on, let's see, on TikTok. I'll try to let Anthony in one more time on Instagram, because every time I try to let you in, Anthony, it just doesn't work. So I'll try one more time. On YouTube, have you considered using rocket stoves to assist the microwave in burning the chamber? I actually do want to experiment with using multiple forms of heating for the chamber, because we get all of the natural gas, you say, or the gaseous product, which is flammable. And while the microwaves are heating from the inside, we can have a flame going under it and heating from the outside and just, you know, getting it real hot. But honestly, the longest part is getting the machine to warm up. Once the machine is warmed up, the microwaves just go crazy, because microwaves become so much more efficient when it's already hot and heated up. My machine would get up close to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit off of microwaves alone, which is just crazy to think about. For the metal to be that, because if the metal is 1,000 degrees, the microwaves are heating from the inside out through volumetric heating. What that essentially means is that plastic is probably 2,000 to 3,000 degrees on a specific point. So that plastic is getting absolutely destroyed in there, which is what we love to see. Travis says, hit the salsa. Maybe I might. You know, it's been a little bit of a chiller live stream today. Just been sitting here answering to the questions on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I might have to hit some salsa for you guys near the end here, right? Let somebody in here on TikTok. Others could replicate. Yeah, others absolutely could replicate. I don't recommend it. It's dangerous, but you know, if you want to, my content's out there. You can create a machine off of all my videos. What's up, low key Nick?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
Man, I just got a couple of questions. All right. Being that you discovered this, right?
Well, no. First of all, I did not discover this. This technology has already been out there for a long time. I have innovated it and improved it. It's already been out there, though.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. So how are you going to plan to mass market this?
By doing exactly what I'm doing now, by making very, very educational and shocking videos, utilizing these social medias.
Okay. This is my personal opinion. I think you should go a little bigger. I think you could be a direct competitor against other oil refineries like Shell, BP, or etc. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Personally, that is not my ambition. Primarily because there's no such thing as competitors for them. You do understand that when they're that big, you try to compete with them, you will be snuffed out. That simply. I think the best thing is actually to partner with them, because they have the refining technology down to a T. I'll just give them oil to refine, and they can sell it at their pumps. Comes from plastic. Same thing. We're all benefiting. But anyways, thank you for your question. Got to get on to the next guy. But yeah, guys, you got to be honest, right? We can't go in here bullheaded. We can't go in here trying to outcompete people or trying to push these already existing giants out the way. That's the easiest way to get shut down. They don't even have to knock you. They're just going to literally hire lawyers and legally destroy you and snuff you out. Because think about it. Even if they have no emphasis in reality, they have so much money that they can hire lawyers forever for you, but you're going to run out of money trying to fight it, and you're not going to make it. So let's just be real. Let's just say that, ultimately, even though they're not the best people, we got to team up with them. We have to mutually be on the same side for this technology to not be just stopped in its tracks before it goes anywhere. That's just how it is. We got to keep it real, In the ideal world, yes, I would love to be in a place where I could, completely be my own, NatureJab is the next BP, you know what I'm saying? But that's just not what it is. It's going to be, you're going to go to your gas pump and you're going to see, just like how you have the different options, you're going to see one of the options is going to be plastiline, baby. Can't wait for that to happen. Let's see. Let's let some people in here. Anu Perry. Hello? All right. Anu's not in here. Let's see if we got anything on Instagram. Oh, we got another there's a lot of Camerons on Instagram that are wanting to join in. There's a lot. There's like the third Cameron tonight. I'll go down to collect plastic from the ocean. Let me know. Hey, I respect it, Viva Lotus. Open source, it will be one day. What's up, man?
What's up? All right, so I was actually on the TikTok live. I came over here, but when are you accepting investors?
I'm going to be accepting investors. Well, ultimately, I can accept investors at any time, but now is probably not the best time given where I am with the machine, right? Because, for example, right now, like my machine recently burnt down. I don't even have a physical machine for people to see like that, because I'm sure people will want to literally see it in person. But so ultimately, once I built my next machine, which is kind of be like Mark 4.5, not Mark 5, but Mark 4.5, when that's there, at that point we'll definitely be focused on investors. It says no sound on YouTube. I'm gonna fix this.
Sorry, another question. Are you ever thinking about hiring security in case like things get dangerous, because you have such a huge idea that could like affect the economy so heavily?
Yeah, I mean, once you get to a certain point of notoriety on the internet, regardless of what you're doing, you gotta have security. You know what I'm saying? Like even the top streamers and stuff have security. So whether it's the government or just some random person on the street, some random bumbleclot, right? I gotta get security eventually. I mean, that will be annoying. Having to not even be able to go places, but that comes with the space, because ultimately I understand that I need to have an influence and a social media presence to get this to the world like it needs to be. So that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Absolutely. Keep it up, man. You're doing great.
Thank you. All right, you take care. I gotta let the next people in. Let in Sean. Can you get out? Oh, thank you. All right. You know, still gotta figure that out. So you guys can hear me on YouTube.
Bro.
What's up?
Is it gas or is it diesel?
It's both. It makes gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel.
So you can run your fuel off of diesel and gas, like both machines?
No, so what happens is when we get it right out of the machine, it ends up actually being a mix of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. We then have to distill it and refine it into the separate fractions, into just gasoline, just diesel, just jet fuel.
Okay. So it could be all three, you're saying?
It is all three. They're just all mixed together when it comes out, and they have to be separated for it to go into an engine, because you can't, you know what I'm saying, you can't put diesel in a gasoline engine, you can't put gasoline in a diesel engine.
Okay.
So that's what it is. Thank you very much for the question. Great question. Yeah, guys, one question, all right? One question. We don't really have time. We'll let Minity in here on TikTok, and we have another Cameron on Instagram afterwards. Hello?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing extravagant. Thank you for asking. What is your question?
I really didn't have a question per se. I just wanted to tell you that I was just absolutely amazed at what you're doing. And I just wanted to just tell you to just keep going. There are so many people that is amazed with what you're doing. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you. Very, very, very nice of you to say that. Thank you very much. Very, very heartwarming.
You're welcome.
Have a blessed night as well. Somebody asked, how can I take a break for a while? So that way you guys thought I was dead. No, I'm just playing. I took a break because ultimately, I mean, you know, especially after I had the fire happen, just sometimes you need time for introspection and self-growth. You know, sometimes it's so easy to get caught into the world of doing that you forget that you're a human being, and you forget about your own health when it comes to, like, you know, your spiritual progression as a person and your character and such. It's very easy to be consumed. So ultimately, I just sometimes need breaks, and that's something that I pride myself on, that I never am scared or worried about taking a break. Ultimately, what I'm doing is going to be done regardless. And if I need a break, I'm going to come back stronger than ever. There was times when I was building my machine and things would go wrong, like electronically, and I'd just be like, man, I'm just going to take a break for like a few months, and I'd come back and absolutely destroy it when I come back. So sometimes it's really best for everything to take a break. And now look at us, right? We're back from the break, and now we're stronger than ever, and then we're about to literally run this in a car, which is what I've been wanting to do for 2 years now. You're turning 16 in 10 minutes. Well, happy birthday to you 10 minutes from the future. Let's let the next person in here. Trey. Change the world, bro. Absolutely. We will change the world. I'm not doing it alone. You guys being here right now alone, you know, you're contributing to this, because nowadays attention is monetary nowadays. So just you watching my videos, you sharing my videos, you being in my live, you are a part of changing the world. Simply, just like that. I would not be able to be where I'm at right now if it weren't for you guys. So that's why I appreciate you guys so much, and thank you guys so much for 500,000 followers on TikTok. We're getting up there, guys. Absolutely blessed to have every single one of you supporters. Looks like this guy is not loading in. Yeah, it looks like this guy is not loading in here. I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, there you go. Now you're loading in, aren't you? What's up, Trey?
Hey, are you ever going to be selling your gas?
No, my intention is not to sell the gas, but to rather sell the machines themselves to small and large businesses.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I see.
Thank you very much for your question. And for those of you wondering, why don't I want to sell the gas? I initially used to say that back then, like, yeah, I want to sell the gas, but the reason why I would rather sell the machines is because there's so many products from the machine. The machine has so much more value than just the gas. The gas is just what I show online because it's the flashiest. It looks the coolest to be like, I make this gas from plastic. But I actually get way more excited about the natural gas product it makes more than the actual gasoline, because it makes so much of that natural gas. But once again, it's really cool to just hold up to a camera and be like, yeah, look at my piss. I need to be careful before I get shadow banned, because, man, yeah, I'm telling you, TikTok and all of them, they be censoring me for the stupidest things. Yeah, I call it unnatural gas. It's really not natural gas at all, right? Hey,
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Hey, what do you do with the waste that's like left over?
So all
From,
that's
like,
left,
the end of the process.
the only thing that's left over, other than the fuels themselves, the gaseous fuel and the liquid fuel, is the solid carbon product. And that solid carbon product can be burnt as coal, but it also could be buried in the ground as biochar, as a soil amendment. It also can be used in concrete to strengthen it. It can also be used and made activated carbon out of it. And activated carbon, you know, you can make toothpaste out of that, creams, all types of things. So in short, there is no waste product. Every product is completely useful and actually has monetary value to it.
Alright, man. You the future.
Thank you. We are the future. You take care and thank you for your question. Yeah, guys, so that's why I really got into this process, because it is truly circular economy, closing the loop. There is no waste from this product, because every single thing you get can be used for something else. And every single thing that is used up in this process can be put in the machine. So like, let's say I have filters in my machine to filter the gas to make it clean. Well, when those filters get spent and used up, I can just put the filters right in the machine and break them down and get the fuel out of the filters. So there's literally zero waste from this machine. Everything is used. Everything is absolutely put to its fullest potential, including plastic. So that's why I'm telling you guys, we have $83 billion sitting with Mr. Krabs right now in our ocean. And we're just letting it wash up. $83 billion just sat there. We got to do something about it, right? I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to get that bag. No, I'm just playing, but seriously, you know, the reason why it ended up there to begin with is because plastic has no innate value when we don't, when we just try to recycle it the standard mechanical way, like turn one water bottle to another, it gets weaker every time. And other than that, all you can do is just throw it away. And then let's keep it real. Nobody's reusing plastic water bottles over and over and over again, you know. Just gotta keep it real. There's so many, especially in the medical industry, like gloves and stuff. There's some things that have to be single use, that we have absolutely massive quantities of trash from. And you can't recycle medical used gloves with viruses on them. The only way you can do that is pyrolysis or incineration. But I think pyrolysis is the best. I'm gonna let Abu what's his name? I can't say. Abu Saif in here. What's up?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I have a few important questions.
Yes.
So, what amount of plastic do you need to make 1 liter of plastic?
1 moment here. I'll give you that number. You want me to give it to you in pounds or kilos? I'll do both, since we got people all over the world here. Well, I'll do both, because what I'll tell you guys is 15 pounds of plastic in my machine would make 1 gallon. So 1 gallon to liters. Let's see, 1 gallon to liters. So you said you want me to make 1 liter. So to do that, I would have to 1 liter. So 1 liter is a 20th of a gallon. So therefore, 15 pounds divided by 2, 68. I have that. No, I actually have the literal number somewhere, because I'm over here trying to do all these conversions from gallons to kilo. Let me just give it to you in 3.7. Can I just give you 3 liters worth of plastic? Yeah, let me just give you 3 liters, because it's confusing me right now. So in order for us to make 3.75 liters of oil, we need to put in 6.8 kilos of plastic waste. And that was with my Mark IV machine. It said basically divide by 3. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, sometimes it's hard, man.
Does it
thank you.
require plastic or something else in the process?
Does it require plastic?
No, does it only require plastic?
Oh, no. This machine runs off of anything organic. It runs off of textiles, clothing, food, anything organic in nature. I got to get on to the next people, so thank you very much for your questions. Does it involve burning up the plastic? No. There's no oxygen, so the plastic cannot burn. Let's see on Instagram. What do we got on Instagram? My Instagram phone is about to die, actually. It's at like 15%. So hopefully 15 pounds per gallon is 1.8 kg per liter. Thank you. I should have just looked at the dang chat. Duh. Of course, you guys could have done it for me. Do you eat from plastic packaging? Drink from plastic water bottles, knowing that all these chemicals are in there? I don't drink from plastic water bottles ever, actually. I just steal my water and then remineralize it and drink it in a bottle. When it comes from plastic packaging, honestly, with food, there's almost no food that isn't in plastic packaging. So, unfortunately, you can't really avoid that nowadays. Let's see, next person. What's my Instagram? Yeah, guys on TikTok, please go to my link tree. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. It's NatureJab on both of them. NatureJab on both of them. You will find me there. If you want, a lot of these questions I'm answering here are things that we go over all the time on YouTube, my YouTube channel especially, because I can go in depth with the longer form videos. So if you have questions, you want to see how I built it, all these types of things, go subscribe to me on YouTube. Thank you guys for 500,000 on TikTok. This guy said, can you please say I'm going to say it the other way. I'm in great mental health. Because I don't think I can even say that word on here. You know how censorship is nowadays, guys. I'm proud of you. Thank you, Codely. Guy's offline. Okay, next guy. Lasan. Oh, I think I already let you in before, Lasan. Hello?
Hey.
Hey,
Julian.
welcome back.
Yes, does your plastic have to be cleaned before you process it into fuel?
So that's a great question. Thank you very much for asking that. So the plastic does not have to be cleaned for it to break down into fuel. It's best if it's cleaned because then you have a better control of what you're getting out of the machine in terms of, wanting to clean up the oils and the gases and stuff. But when I would run my machine, I would put, I was experimenting. So I literally put all types of plastic in there. Plastic that still had food on it. Plastic that, had paper on it, all that type of stuff, because I wanted to see the true capabilities and the extent of this machine. So thank you very much for that question, Lisanne. That was a great question.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep, and once again, guys, going back to what I was saying before, why you should subscribe to me on YouTube is because if you go subscribe to me on YouTube and you see me doing the process from cut to cut of like me doing everything, shredding up the plastic, putting it in the reactor, and running it, you'll know, all my YouTube people know that we put every type of thing in there, every single type of plastic. We mix plastic with cardboard, we put grass in there, we put tires in there, we turn it all into fuel. Does it matter the kind of plastic? It does matter the kind of plastic. Now, it all will turn into fuel, but certain types of plastic give you better fuels or more fuels than others, better liquids than others. Some plastics actually give you some waxy stuff, which has to be distilled out so it doesn't, wax up in your engine. Yeah, it does, but it doesn't matter what kind of plastic it is. Ultimately, if you're just trying to get rid of all plastics, just throw it all in there, right? But if you're trying to get specific types of oils or fuels, it does matter which one you put in there. Is it toxic? I'll say it like this, right? Can you drink gasoline? No. Gasoline is toxic. All these fuels are toxic. Should you put your head at the end of an exhaust pipe on a car? No. It's all toxic. You're not supposed to breathe these things and we're not supposed to consume them. So in terms of that sense, yes. But it's not toxic in the sense of if you touch it or get it on your hand, you're at risk of something. Or like immediately breathing in, taking one whiff is really gonna like knock you out. That's not how toxic it is. But it is toxic to the point where it's like you don't want to consume it. You don't want to just go out of your way to breathe it in. It's really meant to be burned in a car. Just like gasoline, just like diesel. Yeah, you don't want to, let's be smart about it, Because people all the time are like, drink it. How does it taste? Drink it. Come on. You don't even want to drink biodiesel. Let's see. Heal the Earth. Oh, I love that name. I'm laying Heal the Earth in. I'm going to check this. I'm going to check to you guys on YouTube in a second here. I got to let some people know on Instagram too. Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, I just want to say this is such an amazing gift. And I travel around a lot of third world countries and see how much plastic is really just coming up on and destroying the coastal communities. And I'm wondering if you're thinking about partnering with any of those communities to get this fully implemented in a way that you can see like large scale what it can do.
Yeah, my goal is absolutely for this to be implemented in every single country in the world. To get started, it's looking like I'm probably more likely to be getting it started here in the U.S. But Yeah, I was just looking at the video today of the Guatemalan coast and how it literally is just like littered with plastic. Absolute shame to see that. It breaks my heart. So this will absolutely be implemented in all those countries that are struggling the most with plastic waste, without a doubt. Thank you very much for your question, and you stay blessed. All right, gotta let somebody in on Instagram here because these are starting to build up. We're gonna let in designer. It's his name, D-Center or something like that. It's not loading. Yeah, I mean, guys, ultimately, what it comes down to, it just has to be one question because there's a lot of people. I really can't, there's really not much time for multiple questions per people. Sometimes, maybe if the conversation is going that way, but for the most part, it's just one question. If you have multiple questions, you just have to come back in ultimately because there's just a lot of things. I'm having to, look at YouTube, look at Instagram. Ventura and Santa Barbara countries have a lot of natural tar that washes up on the beach and becomes a hassle for beachgoers. Oh, I've heard of that. I've heard of the little tar things that pop up. Yeah, those could go around the reactor and then we can turn those into gasoline too, because this is not limited. What does the gas that you make smell like? It's not good, trust me, because it's not deodorized like gasoline is deodorized from the pump and stuff. Yeah, you guys ever smell crude oil? It doesn't smell good. It's not really meant to. It literally is a bunch of mashed up biomass in a liquid form. Imagine liquid humans. It can't smell good. What's up?
What's up, man? Just want to say, man, love what you do. I'm not gonna lie, man. I saw your post like over a year ago, man, and looked you up and couldn't find anything on you. I thought they got to you, man. So I'm glad to see you. Live and kicking is still doing that good work. I just want to say, man, I can't wait until I see those machines like at malls, man, like all the waste that malls produce.
Yeah.
Just imagine it, man, like, people going to malls and everything else and they can get their fuel done at the mall because, all the waste from the malls is getting recycled and making gas, and the malls have gas stations and things like that. It's going to bring in more revenue. And it's a great idea, man. It's amazing that it works. It's just awesome, man. And I was thinking, I'm a software engineer, so, when it's all up and running, man, if you're trying to create a gas finding app or something like that, hit me up. I can collab with you and build something. So, yeah, man, just want to say that, man, and glad to see you still up and running, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. Take care. I got the next people in, but yeah, great things to say there. And what he said, guys, was a great point that I really want to emphasize on. What he was saying was about like malls, right? So I was saying I want this machine to be sold to small and large businesses, and that includes like things like malls and fast food chains because they have to pay to get their trash taken away and stuff. They can just have this machine there, throw it right there, and then like they can use the products from the machine to run their kitchens or whatever right then and there. Or they could just end up selling that oil, getting it taken away to a refinery to be done with that. By the way, you have to let yourself out here on Instagram because I can't let you. I don't know why. I don't know how to find it. I'm sorry about that. Sorry for being a boomer on that. I saw a good question here on YouTube about motor oil. I don't know where it is. It disappeared. The guy asked, didn't I use used motor oil in my machine before, something like that? Yes. So I've actually put used motor oil in my machine. Once again, does the same thing, makes the same products. Used motor oil comes from crude oil, so just like plastic does, it breaks down into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and the natural gas. So you see that you guys have been here in this live stream since the beginning. You've seen that I've basically been saying the same thing over and over again because ultimately, our reality and our universe works on patterns, and ultimately everything is a pattern, and you can find the pattern in the geometry of everything. So ultimately, everything is made of energy. That's what it breaks down to at the end of the day. And so you're going to see that I'm saying plastic is energy, food is energy, all these things are energy, and we take the same type of processes to make the same type of things, just in different ways, right? Let's see. We're gonna let somebody in here on TikTok.
What's up, brother?
What's up?
just a scroll through TikTok and see every day, see me? And I say, yo, big up, I mean, watch some other people see away and hear what they say about the person who make the water running here. I see him, and
it's really hard to understand what you're saying, and I apologize for my uncultured ear on that. Can you speak a little bit slower for me?
Oh, I'm from Jamaica.
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear it, man.
I'm saying, just be safe.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying, be safe, and I watch some other videos with some other people that they say do water running car and it never end well. So
yeah, I will stay safe, man. And you know what? What is the what are those people, the CIA and all that, right? They're just a whole bunch of bomber clots, right?
That's it.
Let's see, YouTube. How large of a system do you think you could make the reactor? So with my design of the reactor, especially the patent pending design, it can be scaled up infinitely, as big as it needs to be. It could be the size of a kitchen table or the size of a football field. Like it can literally like be as long as it needs to be. Not really as much wide, but it can just be as long as it needs to be, and it could be like multiple reactors put in series. Let's see. Instagram. Oh, no requests on Instagram. Okay. What's the max temperature you think your system could get up to? The max temperature I ever recorded was 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 530 Celsius. We're letting the next guy in here on TikTok. Guys on TikTok, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. Thank you guys for 500,000 followers on TikTok. I'm very grateful and blessed for every single one of you. We're going to change the world. Absolutely, we're going to change the world together. Because you just being here and you taking the time out of your day to give your attention and to pay mind to what I'm doing, to watch my videos, to share my videos, to be here for the live stream, you don't even have to donate a thing. Just the fact that you are giving me that your etherical energy, you're empowering me and motivating me to get this thing done. So ultimately, it's not a me, it's a we thing. We are changing the world together. All right, this guy is not loading in here. I'm gonna let you in, John. My boy John.
Here it is. Here he is.
What's up, man?
Wow, Julian, how are you, man? I don't think we've ever spoken before in the entire expanse of this universe, so please introduce yourself.
I am doing absolutely extravagant. How are you doing, John?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Thanks so very much. So this is my question for you. All right. So, knowing that there's a lot of different countries that deal with things like this, you've shown some videos in the past of some people on an island doing this, yeah. Do you think there's anybody outside the United States that maybe has a patent similar to something like yours?
Oh, it's absolutely possible. I would say it's very unlikely. And the reason I say it's very unlikely is because when I was developing my microwave pyrolysis reactor, I was scouring the internet for anything to help me design my machine. And so I was doing research papers from universities, published from universities all around the world. I was looking at Google patents of already existing patents of things all around the world, from China to Russia to Middle Eastern countries. So I did my due diligence in scouring just for my own benefit to learn how to make it, and there was nothing like my design at that time, right? So my design was its own unique thing, but there is a possibility always that yes, somebody may have had a design that's just like mine, because ultimately we pull from the ether, we pull from the source, and it's all one universal body. So but the good thing is I got my patent pending, which means that there was no current patent which conflicted with my design. There was no prior art in that sense. So legally I'm fine in that sense.
Well, that's good. Yeah, my obviously people that don't know me, I'm close-ish with Julian. Him and I had text occasionally. He's like my boyfriend, I think. Everybody. This is my boyfriend, Julian. Thank you for this time tonight.
Oh, and now there's gonna be all sorts of theories out there now. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, of course. That's what I do. You know,
I'll leave it to you. Leave it to you, John.
Always. All right, somebody else ask a better question. Thanks. Bye. Peace.
All right, next person. We got somebody here on Instagram. No, nobody on Instagram. We got a question on Instagram. Do you have a pitch deck? I do have a pitch deck, Tyler. If you're still in here, email me. Shoot me an email, business@naturejab.com. It's in my link tree if you want to know my email. You send me an email there, I will be able to get to you, send my pitch deck to you. On YouTube, when your technology gets mass adopted by the corporation, such as Shell, will it make a gallon of gasoline less than 1 cent? Possibly. Possibly. I mean, there are always expenses. Even if we got all the plastic completely free, and let's say the energy the machine ran off of was completely free, it was like windmill or something, you still have operating expenses like maintenance of the people running it, the filters and stuff, consumables. So it's never going to be like less than 1 cent. But there's a possibility that it could make gasoline cheaper. And why? Because one of the costs that we pay for in gasoline is actually the transportation and the logistics of it, importing it from wherever it's coming from. But with technology, we can actually make gasoline localized now. We don't have to import it at such a large level. So that actually will make it cheaper in that way, right? But that could also be offset by the fact that this machine does consume electricity. So it could actually end up being the same, price. Since you say we can use trash, does it have to be separated to burn right? Well, first of all, we're not burning it because to burn something, you need to have oxygen and it needs to react with the oxygen to form oxides. We're not burning this because it's in the absence of oxygen. So it doesn't need to be separated. No, you can actually mix whatever you want in here, however you want. But if you want to have consistent products, you need to separate things and clean things and shred things. If you want to have actual scientific results. But I've done it all. I've put everything in there from grass to food to rubber tires to Oreos and coffee grounds and plastic. And it all does the same thing. It all makes fuel. All right, we're going to let a few more people in, and then we'll be slowing down the live stream here because I've been live for about an hour and a half now. No, they do not get burnt. There is no burning because there is no air. If you put the lid over a candle, the fire goes away because fire needs air, and my machine is completely sealed from oxygen. What's up, A1?
How you doing? Hey, I appreciate everything you've been showing us and letting us know what a lot of things is possible, and so I would highly appreciate that. But one thing I would like to encourage you, and you probably already heard this from other standpoints, but just letting you know on the lawful side of things, not legal. Legal is subordinate to lawful. Lawful is basically what God created, basically. So, lawfully speaking, I would protect myself as far as not registering certain things, because registering legally means to forfeit over. So, I would get somebody who understands the law, who will be on your side and who's for you. And because you really have something that's very, very, very massive. Plastic has been a cancer to this earth for a long time, and they created so many marketing campaigns to make it seem like it was all good.
Right.
And then now that we've been seeing things going on with the seas and seeing things going on with the shores and stuff, I kind of feel like we was losing hope for what was going on with the plastic as far as it being used in a better, conducive way. But brothers like you, brilliant minds, found a solution, and this right here is threatening a lot of companies, multi-billion dollar companies, and probably $1 trillion companies. And lawfully, you could be protected. And I would definitely look at things on the lawful side, not legal side. You know what I'm saying? I just want to put that out there because a lot of people don't know the difference between lawful and legal. Legal is what man created. The laws, licenses, and all these things.
All
Even
right,
if we don't, because
all right.
that's
I
something that's the
gotta.
old
I
that they
have
can
to
conform
cut
to.
you
But
off there.
I just want to let people know
Unfortunately,
that and let you know that so you could protect yourself
I
and
I
at
understand.
least
I
put
understand what
it
you're
in trust.
saying. I'm sorry. I had to cut you off there because we were running out of time there. I was trying to stop you, but you just kept going. So no disrespect, but on you just disconnecting you there. I understand what you were saying. Ultimately, of course, we do have to get things done on the lawful side of things as well, because ultimately my focus is not on profit. My focus is on doing things right. Now on Instagram, my phone's about to die here, guys, so I actually am gonna have to hang up the live chat here. Thank you guys very much on Instagram for stopping by. I appreciate all of you guys so much, and you guys take care, stay blessed. Thank you. All right, so that's Instagram there. Put this phone on charge. Yeah, so I will also, kind of rebuttal, what he was saying. No, not in a disrespectful way, but I don't think the companies are going to have an issue with what I'm doing at all, personally. I don't think so at all, because I'm not doing anything to threaten the companies. I'm helping them, actually. YouTube. So would it be an exact price? Would it be the exact same price even though we mine plastic? It wouldn't drop it 10 or 20 cents cheaper? I don't know. Like I said, there's so many factors that we have to see when we're there. Because then there's taxes too. Like maybe there might be a tax on them running the machine, and you have to put that into the price of the. Anyways, I use granular active carbon in very large systems to extract contamination from groundwater and soil vapor. I send the spent carbon to be regenerated for reuse. Yeah, so when they regenerate carbon, they're essentially kind of putting it through a similar process of what we're doing here in pyrolysis. The only difference with pyrolysis is that we're not just regenerating it in terms of cleaning it, we're also not only cleaning it, but we're getting those products, turning them into vapor. Soil vapor. This guy wants you to explain what soil vapor is. I don't know what Daniel Jordan means by soil vapor either. Maybe he's talking about decontaminating soil and vapor. He said from groundwater and soil vapor. So maybe he's saying from groundwater, soil, and vapor, because you can use activated carbon to clean vapors as a filter. All right, we got some more people here on TikTok. I'll let these. We'll let 2 people in on TikTok, and then we'll be calling it a night there. Hello?
Are you hearing me?
Thank you, Hassan. Yes, I can hear you.
Just want to say, good going, and I appreciate the work you're doing.
Thank you.
And just be safe, man. Try your best, safety first.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the heart. Shimu, whatever, I couldn't say the rest of your name. But thank you, man, for saying that. I really appreciate the good vibes being sent, man. I really appreciate it. Stay blessed. You stay safe as well. So the CIA doesn't get you. Okay, so no more requests there on TikTok. This guy said, when fuel spills, think of the gas vapor getting into spaces. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So when he was saying the vapor, he was saying obviously when gases spill, they have vapors that they also release too, and those need to be captured to be dealt with. That's a part of the cleanup as well. So this guy said the CIA does not go after everyone. It has to hurt profits to be a threat. Right. All they care about is money, because money is power. So if I'm not hurting their profits, if I'm helping their profits, then anything, I think the main reason why people say the CIA is because it comes off as if there was an agenda put in place with plastic, because it's kind of like how in the world, with this technology being a thing and also being an old thing, did they possibly allow the oceans to be how they are, or for plastic to be how they are? And why would they lie about us with recycling like they have? Even that little thing on the bottom of the bottles where they say if it has a 3, that means it's been recycled 3 times. That's an absolute lie. That 3 actually means it's a 3rd classification of plastic, which I believe is polyethyl terephthalate. But anyways, so it seems like it almost comes off as if there's a maniacal agenda put in place, which is why plastic has been put to the level it's at, where it's just ravaged our planet and the earth, right? Our beautiful earth. And who am I to say? I don't know if there is some nefarious agenda. Perhaps there is, but I will also say for a fact that my machine is not going to hurt the profits of these big companies. So unless there is truly an agenda, a big nefarious agenda behind why plastic is all over the earth and they want it to keep happening, then I should not be a threat to them at all. If anything, I should be good. You know, I should be promoting them. And they should be using me. So what I'm gonna do here before I go off live is let's see. We'll let Carly's memes, and then we'll be off. Why haven't I posted? Just needed some break or some spiritual reconciliation.
Sorry, I have to whisper right now, but I think you're so cool, and I think everything that you're doing is amazing. And if it's all legit, then, bro, like, you're gonna save us, basically. I think it's so cool, and you're so smart, and you're very well spoken. And honestly, I feel like I'm like a fan. Oh, sorry, kind of awkward, but good job, I guess. And I really hope you continue with it, because that's amazing.
Thank you very much for all the kind words. You stay blessed. Yeah, so she did mention if it is all real. And I will say to you guys here on TikTok, right? I got my YouTube people here so they can vouch for me. Go on my YouTube channel if you have any doubts, like about if I faked anything or if it's not real. If you go on my YouTube channel, you will see countless videos with absolute undeniable evidence and proof of me not only building the machine, but running the machine, putting the plastic in and getting the oil out. Absolute undeniable proof. So my YouTube channel is NatureJab. It's in my link tree. Go check it out. I believe like we do live in the age of information and misinformation, and people do so many things for clout. But this technology has been around for a very long time. It's nothing new. And not only that, but I've shown every single thing. I've been as transparent as possible as what I can be. On TikTok, it's a very short form content. So if I make longer videos, nobody will ever see them. But I can do that on my YouTube channel, make videos that like show no cuts, me doing this, making it. So please go on my YouTube, subscribe, check out my videos, and you will see that this process is absolutely real, without a doubt. Thank you for the cap. I guess I'm trying to sound capping. All right, I was about to go, but one more person just popped in here, so we'll let him take the elevator in. And then we'll be going for the night. It's not really the night, but I'm not a night person, so it's getting late for me.
Hello, you look like a foreman from House series.
I look like a foreman from House series.
House MD.
Where are you from, man? It sounded like he was from Russia, but I'm not gonna assume. I don't know what he was trying to say. The cap, yeah, they got me with the cap. That was pretty good. And I said thank you for the cap too. Yeah, you got me with that one. That was good. Well, anyways, guys, it's been a great live stream. You know, let me ask you, before I go, I'm gonna ask for some genuine feedback from you guys on YouTube and for you guys here on TikTok. Because usually on my live streams, I'm a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, like all over the place, like I'm dancing and I'm doing all this stuff. What do you guys think about the more chill live streams like this, where I'm just sitting down answering questions, not all the antics and all that, right? What do you guys think? So I can know in the future what you prefer. Of course, when I'm excited, I'm excited. I'm gonna dance when I want to dance, but you guys like it? Bring the mad back? You mean bring the mad scientist back? I'm seeing thumbs up, so I'm assuming you guys are saying it's cool stuff. It's cool stuff. Okay. Genuine feedback. I find a real way to make ends meet. I won't see you in a year. That's legit. Invest. I don't know what you're trying to say about I won't see you in a year. Unless you're referring to how I disappeared for a year. But bring this guy said especially big balls. All right. Well, anyways, guys. Oh, one last person here on TikTok. Stan. All right. Now, this is the last one. Seriously, this is the last one I'm letting in. I just keep going. Oh, I would love to try it in a motorcycle. I would love that. That's great. It's patent pending, guys. Patent pending. Thank you guys for 500,000 on TikTok. All right, so this isn't loading. I'm pretty tired at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I've been editing videos all day, grinding stuff out. So we're going to go ahead and get off for tonight. Once again, thank you guys very much for stopping by. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for 500,000 on TikTok. Thank you for all your support on YouTube, Instagram, everything. Make sure you guys on TikTok follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and all that stuff. I'm NatureJab everywhere. You want to see more in-depth videos? Follow me, subscribe, check out my link tree. Thank you guys very much. We have a Discord server. You can join the Discord server as well. You guys have a blessed night, and you guys take care. And thank you guys on YouTube too. I'll be heading out now. You guys take